Well, good morning guys and ladies. It's September 4th and I'm out here on Lake Talcon today. Boy, this is probably one of the better forecasts for the weather today that I have seen. Oh gosh, since springtime. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, not supposed to rain, nice little breeze blowing all day, just a pretty day to be on the water. I had hoped to show you guys some Mega 360 crappie today, but unfortunately I drove off from the house this morning and forgot the batteries from my GoPro, so I don't have a plug up here on the front of the boat, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you any of that. But we are going to ride around out here on the lake today and spend the day looking around. I'm going to go search some new areas, see if I can find some new schools of crappie. I've got a subscriber going with me tomorrow and we're going to get out here and try to catch some to eat. So it's going to be a beautiful day to be on the water, so I think I'm just going to get out here today and just see what the day brings and play around, maybe try some new baits and look for crappie schools. So you guys hang with me and we'll get out here on Lake Talcon today and see what we can find. Oh, one other thing I just remembered. I actually had an issue with my older Gen 2 Humminbird that I really loved. That was my favorite fish finder. So I sent it back to Humminbird and they apparently couldn't fix it. So they sent me a brand new, it looks like brand new Gen 4. So I have put that on my boat and I have hooked it to my Gen 2 transducer that I had. So we're going to set that thing. I updated all my units, so I lost all my settings on everything. So this morning, first thing, we're gonna adjust these Sidescan units and I'm going to tweak them back and get them the way I want them. And I'm going to show that to you guys and how easy it is to set up a Sidescan. Now I don't know how this Gen 4 is going to work with this old Gen 2 transducer, but we're going to give it a try this morning and see how it does and see what it looks like, and I'll show you how simple it is to set one of these Humminbird Mega side imaging up to see crappie. So hang with me. Alright guys, hopefully you can see that. We're going to start right here and we're going to go ahead and get our presets on this thing. So we're going to just look through here real quick. Oh, I see I got some interference already. Alright guys, let's try this again. First thing I did was I turned off my transducer on my Gen 3. I turned everything off. Oh, look at the silt line right there. So that I wouldn't get interference from my other Humminbird on my dash, since I got two different transducers down there. So I turned everything off to start with, so that I wouldn't be getting any interference. And I can see already I have got so much silt in the water right here that I can't hardly see anything right now. You see that? So we're gonna ease out here and I'm gonna play with these settings on this down scan real quick. We're gonna see what we can do. So on my down scan, I prefer 800 kilohertz on my old Gen 2 transducer. That's what I've always used, and I seem to get a little better penetration, a little bit better returns on my fish using that in this deeper water. So we're going to start out with that this morning and we're going to see if we can get it adjusted. So on my 2D, 800 on my side scan, my Mega Chirp and clear mode is currently on my 2D, but I hardly ever use a 2D other than just to show you guys occasionally, but I don't use it. Scrolling down through here, don't see anything. Else. We got the Mega SI Plus transducer connected, so not real sure about that. That's it may be using my other transducer at the moment. Let's see what other choices we have. So it looks like the Mega SI Plus is the one that we're going to be using this morning. Let me exit out this menu and get back to my down imaging page. Not paying attention to where I'm going. I'm going to be ran into a stump out here. Nice 2D picture there. There we go. Back on our down imaging. So we got a pretty clear picture there. Cleared up a little bit. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't think any of the settings that we just did, it may have just took it a minute to start reading, but that's a pretty good picture just right out of the box, guys. So we're gonna look and see what else. We go to our waypoint settings. That all looks good. Not gonna change anything. This is factory settings. We're gonna leave it there. Chart, map source is auto. I believe I've got my Lake Master chart in here. Chart orientation, we're going to turn that to heads up. Not going to change anything else on that page. We're not going to mess with our highlights right now. We'll get into those later after I get the fish finder set up the way I like it. Setup English, user mode, angler. We're going to leave it on angler for now. Eastern Standard Time, that's all good. Data sources, that's new on the Gen 4. I haven't played with that before. I think we've got, we're going to turn on the DI, SI. No, we're going to leave that off. SI, let's see. Make sure we got all the views visible that we want. Chart DISI combo view, we're going to turn that on. Might use that at times. Go to our accessories, nothing there, and now we're going to go to network source, check our 2D. That's coming from our G4, coming from our DI's, coming from our G4, SI's coming from the G4. And it's not showing 455 800. Not sure if that's right. We may have to take another look at that. Yep, we're using our G4 transducer, which is not a G4 transducer. I'm not sure why it says it is. So everything looks good there for now. Alright, so let's get up in some shallower water so we can adjust our view on our screen. Yep, so our display went back to mega when I started messing with the settings, so we're going to change that to 800 and see what happens. Alright guys, so on 800, this is new. Now I didn't have this on my Gen 2. You see what happened? You see how it started picking up all that silt in the water? So that'll go to show you how you can tweak your settings while you're out on the water. So on 800 kilohertz, it is sending that strong beam down there, and there is so much silt below about 10 foot that you couldn't make out a fish if he was in there or not. So now if we got in water above that, we'd probably have a good view. But right now, see, we're in 20 foot of water right now, so let's get up here to a little bit shallower water and see what it looks like in some shallower water. Get out of the river channel. Alright, so here we are. We're coming up to 12 foot now. See, and we've gotten above that layer of silt, guys. You see that layer of silt? So I'm not expecting any fish to be deeper than 12 foot right here, because I doubt that they're going to want to be down there in that silt layer. Doesn't mean they aren't, but I highly doubt they want to be. So that may dictate where we look today. We may be looking, I'm kind of in the middle of the lake right now, so we may be looking for fish 10 foot or less deep. Alright, so that's still a pretty poor picture. So we're going to go to, we're going to go back over here to our menu. We're going to go back to Mega Chirp. That Mega Chirp seems to be filtering out some of that. So that filtered out a little bit of that silt. But you can see how much more stronger that 800 is. Usually that's what I want to fish with, but today it's just not going to happen. There's just too much silt in the water to use it in this depth. So I'm going to have to go down to, so I actually went up to that megahertz, and that's giving me a clearer picture. So let's see if we need to adjust the colors at all. So we're going to go to menu. Our sensitivity is about 10. We turn it up. Doesn't really seem to make much difference. Turn it down, it kind of filters out that silt a little bit. So we're going to leave it on the default of 10. Contrast, go up a little bit. See how that cleared that up? You see that, guys? Let's go back down. Look at that. See that? Watch what happens when I go up on this DI contrast. See how that cleared up that picture? Alright, now we're going to have to do this again when we find a school of fish. Because our goal is not to have a pretty picture. Our goal is to see the fish really well. That's what we want. That's what we want, is to be able to see those fish really well. Alright, so our lower range, we're going to set a lower range to 20 feet. And that's going to keep that DI, it's going to help it pick up the bottom quicker, and it's going to keep that bottom where I got a good picture on the screen, so it's not going to bounce up and down on me so bad. DI colors, I like the color. So now we've got this DI dynamic contrast. That was not an option on my other unit. I do not know that it's an option on this transducer, but we're going to turn it on one time and see what happens. I did see a little clear up. You can see it in the bottom down here. Watch. It changes the look a little bit, so I'm going to have to find some fish, and we're going to have to play with that on top of some fish, because I don't know if that's better or worse. It seems like it takes away a little bit more of the picture, so I see even less with that on. So we're going to leave that the way it is for now. Alright, so that's it for our down scan. So we're going to set I'm going to set my middle preset. Actually, I'm not going to put a preset on this down scan. Sorry guys, I keep bumping the camera. Alright, I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. So right now we've got a pretty clear picture on this, and in a little while here we'll get out, we'll find us a school of fish, and then we'll go back and forth over that school of fish, and we'll adjust these settings more so that those fish really pop the best we can get them to. So now we're going to go find our side scan. Alright, here's our side scan. Let's see what kind of picture we got on this side scan. Alright, so right off the bat, it's looking pretty clear, but problem is you see how dark it is out here on these edges? It's even worse on the camera, guys. I can see it pretty good. So that's not the greatest picture using this old transducer on this Gen 4. So we're gonna see if changing the settings helped a little bit. So went up on the sensitivity. That's kind of making that's kind of blinding things out a little too much. So we're going to go back down. So I'm thinking right around the factory is pretty good. Contrast, let's go up. Nope, that's darkening it up. So we're going to go down on our contrast a little bit. Now that lightened the picture up, but it really didn't help me see clearly. Alright, so 10 on the contrast. is getting me a clear picture, but I still don't have a good, still getting a lot of darkness on this screen. It's still not as bright as I'd like for it to be. So we're gonna go down on our range. So now we're down to 80, 75, 70, 65, 60 feet. So that's looking a little better. Now let's go back up to our contrast. A little dark, real light. So right in there about the factory setting, right in there around 10, 11. Let's stick it with 11 for now. Let's go back up to our sensitivity. That's too bright, too dark. So right in there around 11 seems to be pretty good. Chart speed, I'm going to drop that to 4. Can't tell that that did anything at all. 5, 4. We're going to leave it on 5 for now. All right, guys. Looks like there's a few fish right in that stump right there. And guys, I covered a mile of this lake and haven't seen any fish at all. Finally came across what looks like a school of crappie. Looks like there could be some more in that tree right there. I'm not getting a very good picture at this angle, so we're going to turn around and go back across them, looking up the river ledge instead of down it. We're going the direction we're going now. We're looking down the ledge. So we're going to turn around. They're right on the edge of a creek channel. We're going to turn around and go back the other way. See if we get a better picture of them going the other way. We'll get out a little bit deeper, look uphill at them, see if that helps. And sometimes it makes a difference what angle you look at these fish, whether you're looking off the ledge at them or down up the ledge at them. Sometimes you can get a little better picture if you make a pass or two by them. Alright, might be a couple fish right here on that stump right there. There's a couple right here there's some on this stump right here. You can see them right there. That was a long way to see two little small schools of crappie. See, there was one more spot here that I missed. It's over here off to this side of the boat. We're going to make a circle and look uphill at that too, because that's a lot of stuff in the water right there, right on a ledge. See that? We'll make a circle around and see if we can get a better view of those. Not super happy with my settings yet. Yeah, guys, see, you can barely see it, but there's definitely a few fish in that big old tree right there. A lot of little fuzz in there. And there's a pretty good look at that school. You can see them pretty good right there. Some fish. That looks like some good sized fish. And look at there, there's some on that stump right there too. And that's the one we went over a little while ago. You can see them on the down scan over here. You see those little fuzzy things around that stump. Alright, so we have looked around up here on this north end of the lake for a while, and we have only found just this one little spot that had a couple of small schools. So we are going to go down lake now and look in deeper water and see what we find. It's still technically summertime, so I think a lot of these fish may be still on the deeper end of the lake. So that's where we're headed. Alright guys, there's a nice water crappie right there. We're going to mark those. A couple batches of them right there. You see them right here on the screen. I've gotten down here on this deeper end of the lake, and these fish down here on this end of the lake are deeper. They're sitting out here in 16 feet of water. Alright, we're going to keep looking. Actually, I'll turn around and catch a couple of those so we can get a couple of see what kind of mood they're in. Alright guys, been riding around looking for fish all day. I think I'm going to try to catch one or two. Stand up and stretch my legs a little bit. Oh, we got a hole. First cast. That didn't take long. There we go. Go guys, you know I couldn't go all day without at least catching one. Dadgummit. Oh yeah, there's a nice crappie, guys. Nice big crappie out of that school. There you go. A pretty fish. Ooh, looks like a good one. Oh yeah. Oh, another nice crappie. Go guys, middle of the day in the summertime, and they'll still bite. Another little guy. Alright, we're gonna leave him alone. Go look for some more. Alright guys, right there is the importance of having your down scan on along with your side scan. I was going along and I didn't see anything on my side scan, but I went right over the top of a big school on my down scan, so I'm gonna circle around now and see if I can see these on my side scan. Well, there you go. That's why I run side scan and down scan at the same time. And that's the third time today that's happened. I didn't have my camera on the last couple times, but quite often I find these fish just with my down imaging sonar and not my side scan, especially when I'm out down here when I'm in deeper water. So, you know, these fish were in that 15, 16 foot range, and a lot of times I end up finding those with my down scan instead of my side scan. Sorry guys, I know there's a bad glare. It's getting to be that time of day. Try to change the boat angle, that didn't help. That help a little bit. All right, let's see if we can spot them on this side scan. There we go. Don't show up great, but you can see them all. See them off over here to the side. That's crappie. Good strong returns on crappie. There's another little batch of them right there. Hey guys and ladies, I'm gonna wrap this video up. It was a beautiful day on the water. I spent the entire day just riding around looking for crappie. I'll tell you what I found, guys. I went from midsection of the lake up the lake first thing this morning for about half the day and found very few schools of crappie, just a few. You'll see them, saw them on the video I believe, and then I went down to the lower half of the lake and the water was cleaner there, and there's just more crappie down in that area right now. So it was a beautiful day, and I did find quite a few fish and found some new schools. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know, it just makes me feel good when I find schools of crappie I didn't know about. So I got a nice mess of them. We're going to get out here tomorrow and see if we can catch a mess to eat for one of the subscribers. And yeah, I'm going to get back out here on the water next weekend, and you guys have a great one, a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you on the water next week.